He was sitting in a Zoom meeting, discussing a bug in someone else's enterprise software. His phone buzzed under the table. It was an email with an acquisition offer. $500,000 for a side project he built on stolen weekends. While his boss was talking about sprint planning, he was secretly a millionaire. And nobody, not a single person at his company had any idea. Meet Marcus, 34 years old, senior data engineer at a mid-sized tech firm in the Pacific Northwest. He wasn't unhappy. He just wasn't excited. Every morning, the same ritual. Coffee from the break room. A 15-minute commute. Log in. Stare at the dashboard. Tickets. Sprints. Deployments. Repeat. The work was stable. The pay was decent. The free coffee mugs were adequate. But Marcus had a secret. He had been coding since he was 12 years old. He loved building things. Real things. Things that actually help people. His day job? He was maintaining a legacy payment system that nobody fully understood anymore. Code written by engineers who had left the company during the Obama administration. Documentation that was optimistic at best. Entire modules held together by what looked like digital duct tape. It's fine, he told himself every morning. It pays the bills. It gives us health insurance. But at night, when the office was empty and the Slack notifications finally stopped buzzing, Marcus would open his laptop. Not for work. For himself. He started small. A simple web tool. Something he needed personally. He was an amateur photographer on weekends, and he hated manually resizing, renaming, and tagging his photos for different social platforms. It was tedious. It was boring. It was a waste of his talent. So he wrote a few hundred lines of Python. A basic drag-and-drop interface. A script that auto-generated descriptions. Nothing fancy. Nothing polished. He put on GitHub. Shared it in a few photography forums. And then, something unexpected happened. People started using it. Not just his friends. Strangers. Professional photographers in Europe. Hobbyists in South America. Developers in Southeast Asia. They sent him emails. Feature requests. Bug reports. Thank you notes in broken English. Marcus was genuinely confused. It's just a side project, he thought. A weekend hack. Nothing special. But the numbers kept climbing. Within 6 months, his little side project had 5,000 active users. Within a year, 50,000. Marcus was now working 60, sometimes 70 hours a week. 40 hours for his employer. 30 hours for his other life. He'd wake up at 5 a.m. to fix critical bugs before his morning stand-up call. He'd code during his lunch break, scarfing down a sandwich while typing with one hand. He'd work until 2 a.m. on weekends, ignoring the blue light burning his retinas. His wife, Elena, started noticing the dark circles under his eyes. "You're working too hard," she said one evening, her voice soft but worried. "Is everything okay at the office?" Marcus hesitated. He hadn't told her the full truth. He'd mentioned the project, sure, but not the scale, not the momentum. "It's fine," he lied. "Just a busy quarter." But it wasn't fine. It was exhilarating, because his little tool was no longer little. It had morphed into a full-fledged SaaS platform, a complete workflow automation suite for creative professionals. And it was generating real money now. Not millions, but enough to matter. $3,000 a month. Then 5, then 10. Marcus faced a crossroads. Option 1, quit his job. Go all in on the side project. Risk the mortgage, the security, the predictable paycheck. Option 2, keep both. Live the double life. Safe, but soul-crushing and exhausting. He chose option 2. Because here's the thing about corporate culture, it doesn't like risk-takers. It rewards compliance. It wants obedient soldiers who show up, do their tickets, and go home quietly. Marcus knew that if his boss ever found out about his side empire, he'd be labeled a flight risk. They'd start looking for his replacement. They'd push him out. So he stayed quiet. He stayed invisible. Every morning, he'd log into Zoom, nod along during sprint planning, pretend to care about the dashboard metrics, fix the legacy payment bugs that nobody else wanted touch. And every night, he would build his empire. The growth was exponential. 100,000 users, 200,000, 300,000. The revenue crossed $100,000 a year, then 200,000, then 330,000. And Marcus hadn't paid himself a single dollar. Not one. He reinvested everything. Servers, ads, a small customer support team in the Philippines, a freelance UI designer from Ukraine, a tiny office space he rented just to get out of the house and feel like a real founder. His day job paid the bills. His side project was building his future, but the cost was mounting. He missed dinner with Elena. He forgot their anniversary. He snapped at her when she asked simple questions. The project wasn't just a hobby anymore. It was an obsession, a second marriage, a secret affair, and the stress of hiding it was eating him alive. He'd have nightmares about accidentally sharing his screen during a meeting, about his boss seeing the Slack messages from his users, about the HR department calling him into a room and asking him to explain the sudden wire transfers into his personal account. How long could he keep this up? Then, one rainy Tuesday afternoon, everything changed. Marcus was in another pointless meeting, another endless discussion about another boring feature that nobody would ever use. His phone vibrated under the table, an email from a corporate address he didn't recognize. The domain looked legit, a well-known tech holding company. Subject, acquisition interest, project name. He opened it discreetly, hiding the screen behind his coffee mug. Dear Marcus, we've been tracking your project growth for the past 18 months. We believe it perfectly complements our existing product suite. We would like to discuss a potential acquisition. Please let us know a convenient time for a confidential call. Marcus felt his heart stop. He read the number again. The proposed valuation. $500,000 for something he'd built in his spare time. For fun. For excitement. He looked around the Zoom grid. His colleagues were debating Jira ticket priorities. His manager was droning on about the release timeline. Nobody knew. Nobody had any idea that the quiet, reliable guy in the third row, the guy who always fixed the payment bugs, was about to become $500,000 richer. Marcus took the call. The next day, from his parked car, during his lunch break, the offer was real. The term sheet was solid. The money was already wired to a qualified escrow account. But there was a catch. If he sold, he'd have to be public. His name would be attached to the project. His LinkedIn would be updated. Press releases would go out. His employer would find out. And Marcus knew that would be the end of his corporate career. They would fire him for moonlighting. They would sue him for ownership of the IP. Even though he built it on his own machine, on his own time, with his own resources, they would try to take it. So he had a brutal choice to make. The safe job, the predictable paycheck, the health insurance, the pension, or the $500,000. The freedom, the unknown. He called Elena that night. Elena, I need to tell you something. She listened in silence as he explained everything. The user numbers, the revenue, the hidden office, the offer on the table. She didn't speak for a long time. Then she said, I thought you were having an affair. Marcus almost laughed. In a way, I was. What are you going to do? Marcus looked at his computer screen. The term sheet was still open. The numbers were still there. He thought about the legacy payment system, the broken code, the boring meetings, the wasted potential. Then he thought about his own product, his own users, his own company, and he made his decision. Marcus sold the project. He signed the papers. He took the money. He watched $500,000 land in his business account. And then he did something unexpected. He didn't quit his job. Not immediately. He stayed for 6 more months. 6 months of showing up. 6 months of nodding along. 6 months of pretending to care about the legacy system. But something had fundamentally shifted inside him. The money was sitting there in his bank account, earning interest, $500,000. Enough to cover 2 years of living expenses. Enough to start over. Enough to never be afraid of a layoff again. And every morning, when he logged into Zoom, he knew he didn't have to be there. He was working because he wanted to, not because he needed to. That changed everything. His posture changed. His confidence changed. He started speaking up in meetings. He started pushing back on bad ideas. He stopped being the quiet, obedient engineer. Colleagues noticed. "Marcus, you seem different lately." "Just feeling better," he'd reply, smiling. 6 months later, Marcus finally submitted his resignation. His boss was genuinely shocked. "But Marcus, you are our most reliable engineer. The legacy system runs on your code. Why now? Is it the money? Do you want a raise?" Marcus smiled again. "It's not about the money," he said. "It's about the time." He never told them about the side project. He never told them about the $500,000. He just closed his laptop, shook hands, and walked out into the afternoon sun. Today, Marcus runs his own small software company for full-time employees, a product that genuinely helps over 50,000 active users every single month. He works exactly 40 hours a week, sometimes less. He's home for dinner every night. He takes Elena on weekend trips. He goes to his kids' soccer games. And he's never, ever been happier. Marcus's story isn't unique. Thousands of skilled professionals are living double lives right now, building empires in the shadows while pretending to care about their day jobs. Why? Because the corporate world penalizes ambition. It rewards compliance. It wants you to stay in your lane, keep your head down, and never outshine your manager. But here's the truth. The most financially successful people I've interviewed, the ones who broke free from the golden handcuffs, they all started exactly like Marcus. They started small. They started in secret. They built something of their own, one evening at a time, while the rest of the world was watching Netflix. They didn't quit their jobs prematurely. They didn't gamble their rent money. They just created, and they let those creations grow organically, quietly, until they became too big to ignore. That's not recklessness. That's strategy. So what can you learn from Marcus? Lesson 1. Start small. Start now. Marcus didn't build $1 million company overnight. He built a simple automation script for himself to solve a tiny, boring problem. He didn't wait for the perfect idea. He didn't wait for funding. He didn't wait for permission. He just started. You don't need a revolutionary idea. You need a useful idea. Something that genuinely saves people time, money, or frustration. Lesson 2. Keep your day job as long as possible. The biggest financial mistake ambitious people make is quitting too early. Marcus kept his salary, his benefits, his safety net that allowed him to reinvest every dollar from his side project back into growth. No debt, no desperdicios, just pure, patient expansion. If he had quit on day one, he would have run out of money and been forced to sell his project for a fraction of its value. Lesson 3. Protect your privacy. Build in stealth. Marcus shared his project with the world. He built in public, gained thousands of users, and grew a community. But he never attached his real name. He never updated his LinkedIn. He kept his employer completely in the dark until the very end. You could do both. You can build your future while protecting your present. The world doesn't reward loud risk takers. It rewards smart, quiet, consistent builders. Would you have told your boss about the side project? Or would you have kept the double life? Just like Marcus? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. Every week, a new story that could save you thousands or make you millions. Don't miss the next one. Subscribe now.